right, man. Apparently, Isaiah Stewart is believed to be on the trading block. So obviously, on the heels of that news, we heard the news possibly about the Pistons being interested in Dennis Schroeder, Malcolm Brogdon, or Brandon Ingram, which I'll kind of expand more on Ingram later. So yeah, we heard that news. And now you hear Isaiah Stewart could be a trade block. And just when, some anti-beef stew fans were starting to like Isaiah Stewart going back to that 5, looking a little bit natural playing that 5, not shooting the ball as much, really, kind of really been our most consistent in the paint defender. Now they trade him now. At the end of the day, I've said this about a few players, especially Zion on my other channel. Check it out, Goodfella TV. Well, I basically said that if I'm New Orleans or if I'm Philadelphia, and I've been saying this for the past few years for Philadelphia too about Joel Embiid, as I put my shoes back on, I said, boy, get them healthy, let them have a really good stretch of basketball when they value high, then I'll trade their ass. So that could be what the Pistons doing with Isaiah Stewart. But thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Sorry, brushing my hair, about to go back, clock back in. But before I do, I kind of understand where they coming from, for, Isaiah Stewart. Contenders probably, like him. But my thing is, it ain't like you trying to make more room for Jalen Duren, because even when you look at a guy like Jalen Duren, he continue to get in foul trouble. Are you trying to make more time for Paul Reed? Even we seen Paul Reed when Jalen Duren was out. He was solid, but, he really wasn't nobody you can lean on like you lean on Stewart when Jalen Duren is out with injury, or he in foul trouble, or he need a breather. So that's my thing about it. So looking at the whole situation, now they gonna bring in a Mitchell Robinson, a Clint Capella, or somebody, that's gonna, kind of, play that spot, with Jalen Duren or something like that, then that's a lot different. But, I feel like if it is a change-up coming at center, I think the change-up is probably going to be like a Vujovic. Not saying it's going to be Vujovic, but a player that can go to the perimeter and stretch the floor out a little bit more. I think if that's what they kind of looking for, is a switch up at the center position. But, if they talking about possibly throwing them in a trade to get Brandon Ingram or to get another player, then, so be it. But you got to, you can't just lose your best interior defender right now. Right now, I just don't think they can afford to do so. I don't think they can afford to lose their best interior defender. Now, could Jalen Duren step it up and take pride and take some of that heart and pride that Isaiah Stewart got and put it into his game? If he did, he'd be a fucking all-star. Just if he hustled and stayed out of foul trouble, he'd be an all-star. So, mixed feelings about it. For years, I advocated for them getting rid of him. Didn't really like them signing him to a contract. But, I'm starting to like him this season, to be honest. Always love the attitude, the mentality, the enforcer mentality. Ain't too many of them guys left in the NBA no more. Them tough guys, enforcers. They done feminized the NBA to the point where, these dudes start dressing like women into the arenas. And now you got somebody that embodies some throwback, 80s and 70s and 90s grit. You don't see that in the NBA no more. Everybody buddy, they friends, and, if they do fight, you don't feel like nothing gonna happen. And I understand it's a union, it's a brotherhood, but I like the flavor that Stewart brings to the team as the toughness mentality that he brings. So, it could just be shop talk, like the Schroeder, Brogdon, BI talk, but I find it hard to believe that they can afford to get rid of this brother right now, to be honest. I really find it hard to believe that, man. But if they bring somebody else in, I'm telling you, if they bring somebody else in, they're either going to be more of a paint presence, more of a shot blocker, rebounder, or they're going to be more of the perimeter type. And I think they're probably going for the perimeter type. a guy that can pick and pop a little bit, stretch the floor out, Memodor Core, Vujovic vibes a little bit. So, yeah, like I said, it is what it is. But you can't afford to lose a guy like him. Yeah, I don't think you can afford to lose a guy like him and not put nobody in that position. I don't think Paul Reed and Jalen Duren is good enough to man that position, right now. So, I think even with Isaiah Stewart, you probably need another guy there. So, it's going to be interesting to see kind of, which way, they choose to go if they do move him. But, honestly, kind of starting to like the guy. Real talk. And I think it's a, argument to be made that he deserved to start over Jalen Duren. So, interesting argument. So, but we'll see. So, I don't think they're going to give him away for pennies. I think if he's involved in the trade, it's going to be for Brandon Ingram. And it'll be interesting if they bring in a guy like Brandon Ingram, a major guy. Do you sign him to a contract right away? Do you let him hit the open market, see what he get, and try to match it? How much will you give? It depends on what you give up. If you don't give up much, really, you can just say, hey, go test the market. We didn't give up shit to get you, so we'll just take the free cap space. Yeah. But I was starting to like Stu. But yeah, it's to be honest, kind of seeing how this shaking out. There's probably gonna be quite a few moves made. Cause once you kind of start looking at the lineup, if they're looking for a primary ball handler now, maybe you move K to the 1. But you start counting to the 3. But start looking at the stacks of guys they got, mostly because of Troy Weaver. Ashore, Ivy, Hollins, Cade, Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris. Start looking at those guys. At some point, it's going to be a process of elimination. Obviously, Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to leave. But then you start looking at Ivy, Ashore, and Ron. Okay, you say we put Ron, possibly power forward type of guy down the line. So really come down to Ashore and Jaden Ivey. That's what it comes down to. Eventually, that's probably going to be, which one do you prefer to keep? So, it's going to be interesting, but it'll be interesting to see, how this roster shapes up at the trade deadline, or just move it after the season after they get done experimenting and seeing what they got. But, yeah, let me know what you think about Isaiah Stewart possibly be on a trading block. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Find me everywhere. Find the link tree, other platforms. Check out the Trade Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.